Well, it was a whirlwind second special session. Ended after midnight. Several important bills did make it across the finish line. Some legislation, including a few high-profile items, ended up failing, though. ION Politics reporter Jack Fink in the newsroom. Let's go over the details. So let's talk what got the green light and also what did not.
Well, Doug, one of the big issues during the second special session centered around the state's response to the deadly Central Texas flooding in July. The bills that passed include camp safety, installing outdoor warning sirens in Kerrville and other areas prone to flash flooding, and funding to help restore areas ravaged by the floodwaters and prevent future disasters. Governor Abbott will be signing the camp safety bill tomorrow. Lawmakers also passed a bill to abolish the STAR test and instead replace it with what's being called 3 shorter tests at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. The new test will take effect in the 2027-28 school year. Also on its way to the governor is a bill requiring people to use bathrooms and locker rooms in government buildings and schools that are the same as their birth gender. And new legislation will target sales and distribution of abortion medication and also allow individuals to sue others who manufacture and distribute the medication illegally. What dominated the session is the newly approved congressional maps that will likely transform 5 districts from Democrats to Republicans. Governor Abbott signed the new maps into law, and now they will be fought over at federal court in El Paso starting October 1st. And now a look at what some issues that didn't make it to the governor's desk. One of the big ones, additional property tax relief. Senate Bill 10 would have clamped down on cities and counties with more than 75,000 residents from collecting more property tax revenues without the public voting for it. An election would have been triggered if revenues collected increased by more than 2.5%. That's lower than the current rate, which is 3.5%. Enough Republicans teamed up with Democrats to oppose it, saying it won't lower property taxes enough and that it also should include smaller cities and counties.
It's super important to our constituents, but I think it should be equal and paired across the entire state equally, regardless of population. So for that reason, while I fully support property tax relief, my goal is to vote no on this and try to push it back to the Senate to try to get a lot of the things that we did on the House floor added back in.
This bill, while it is not perfect, it is a step in the right direction. You cannot stand up here and say that lowering the voter-approved tax rate from 3.5% to 2.5% is not a step in the right direction of lower taxes.
Another high-profile bill that failed was the ban on all THC products. While the Senate repeatedly passed the legislation to do that, it went nowhere in the House. Governor Abbott vetoed the bill after the regular legislative session ended, opposing an all-out ban favored by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Now, even though the governor put THC on the special session agenda, he, the lieutenant governor, and Speaker Dustin Burrows could not reach a deal on a compromise bill, and that includes legislation that would have banned THC products for those younger than 21. Doug?
And the question of the day becomes, is there going to be a third special session because of the big bills not passing?
Well, special sessions are always a dirty word around the Capitol, and that, of course, is now the big question facing the governor, and we have no word just yet on whether he's going to call a third. I've been asking lawmakers their thoughts, and some Republicans say they wouldn't mind a third special session because they want to see more property tax relief, and others want a ban on THC products for those younger than 21. Other legislators I spoke with said they've had enough special sessions and they don't want another one. Doug?
Some people just want to go home.
Yes.
Everybody can understand that feeling.